Interval notation. So today you're going to learn how to write a different kind of notation. Now let's first go over the notation that you already know. So the notation that you already know refers to these graphs here. So this graph starts at -6, and it means it's all the values that are bigger. So when we write that, it's x is greater than or equal to -6. Because all these values here are greater than or equal to -6. And we show that because if it's colored in here, I like doing this, if it's colored in there, it's got to be equal to. Like this one right here, this is not colored in. This is an open circle, so that means that would not get an equal to, but this one would. All right, so if we do this, these two graphs get those two symbols get an open circle, open, or not colored in, and these two get a closed circle or a colored in. Okay? So if you're wondering what symbol to use. So now, to do this one, you see how it's in between like this? It's in between two. So we would say x is between -6 and 1. So you write it just like you would think. X goes in the middle. This is an open circle, so it's just less than. This has a closed circle, so it's less than or equal to. These signs always have to go in the same direction. And we always make them less thans. So we always start with the smaller number and get bigger. Go to the bigger number. So this one here, 6 is here. Now all these numbers going this way are less than 6. So it's x is less than 6. Notice this is an open circle, it's not colored in, so that's why it's just a less than. That's the notation that you should know already. The interval notation is a different kind of notation. Okay? It uses a series of parentheses and brackets. So parentheses is the same as an open circle. Colored in circle is square. That's it. That's really all there is to it. It's always two numbers. Always two numbers. Can't have more, and they always go in numerical order. So this one starts with the -6. It's an open circle, so it's a parenthesis. And it goes to 1, so it's a square bracket. So it's just another way to write those same things. It's just a different way. So notice there is no x. No x or y or anything is used. We simply state all the numbers that work. So this one goes to infinity. Now when you have a circle, closed in circle, it's a square bracket, and then it goes on forever, that's infinity. So it's a sideways 8, basically, and we always use a parenthesis for infinity. Okay, so here's the breakdown. Numbers are in numerical order, like I said, so it would start small. The smallest number goes first. The biggest number goes second with a comma. Open circles, and infinity gets a parenthesis. So this guy's an open circle, so it would be a parenthesis. Closed circles get a square bracket, so this is a closed right here. Square. Done. So here we go. The smallest number for this one is 3. So 3 goes first. The largest number for this one, well, there isn't a largest. It's infinity. So we do a sideways 8, comma. Open circle here, infinity there. Okay, take a second and try these. So these should look like, this is a square bracket on the -9 and a 7 with a parenthesis. Over here is infinity. It's going on to infinity, but when it goes to a negative, we have to put a negative infinity. But it's still a parenthesis, comma, 3. and 3 is a closed circle, so it's square. Easiest ones are these. Your two numbers are 0 and 8. That's a square bracket, and that's a parenthesis. 2 is the smallest. It goes to positive infinity this time. Parenthesis, parenthesis. Done. Okay, solve and graph inequalities. So basically what we're going to do is solve an inequality and then graph it in interval notation. So you solve an inequality just like you would an equation, but you have to be very, very conscious and very, very careful that this inequality stays where it is. And the variable, like when you move things, you can't just switch sides willy-nilly. Okay? So whenever we write these, I prefer, as myself, I like to always make sure that my x is on the left side. So that's one thing I always make sure. So that's how I differ doing this as opposed to an equation where I don't really care what side they're on. So I move my 3x to the other side. I can combine these two terms. Now when I divide here by -3, the moment you divide by a negative, okay, it's divide or multiply, but that's the most important thing you understand. Divide, that's the bottom number. This number doesn't matter. What matters is the bottom number. The moment you divide by a negative, the inequality reverses. Okay, so it'd be x. So the inequality right now is a greater than, so it reverses to a less than. And then you do the division the same way. So this answer is x is less than 3. So it's all values less than 3. I find it very important to graph this on a number line. So this is less than, and it's at 3. So 3, I'm going to put an open circle. That means all numbers less than 3. Well, what are the numbers that are less than 3? What are the numbers that are less than 3? Well, all these numbers are less than 3. That's what's less than 3. So this is an open circle, less than 3. So now that it's graphed, interval notation is slightly easier. So over here, that's negative infinity. This is the other number, that's 3, and both sides are parentheses. So that's my answer there. Okay, same for this one. You just solve it normally, but I want to keep my n on this side. I like to keep it on this side. It just makes graphing a bit easier. So solve it exactly the same way. Distribute that -2. Okay, combine your like terms. Move stuff around. And here I'm dividing by -2. The moment you divide by a -2, that inequality is going to reverse sides. Okay, so graphing this, n is less than or equal to -6. So -6 is here, and it's colored in because of this. That line means it's colored in. Remember, it's all numbers less than 6. So I'm going to go this way. Those are all the numbers less than 6. And we go negative infinity to 6, and that would make it a square bracket because it's colored in here. All right, for this one, same deal. A minus 15 is less than, distribute in, 24 plus, well, not plus, minus 12a. Now, you can choose to move your a's either direction, but remember, I really like my a's over here. It makes for easier graphing. So it's 13a minus 15 is less than 24. Add 15. So 13a is less than 39. Now that's a positive number, so no flipping needed. A is less than 3. So let's graph that. So there's the 3, it's less than, so it's an open circle. And all numbers less go this way. Not really the best questions ever. So the interval notation would be negative infinity to 3, like that. Okay, try this one on your own. Okay, so for this one, I got x is less than or equal to negative 4 over 9. Not exactly, the best number, and if I made a mistake, whatever, at this point. All right, so what we need to do is graph this. So to graph this, it's really not that deep of a thing to do. It's negative. It should be over here on the negative side. Negative 4 over 9, well, that's less than 1, so it's going to be somewhere in here. So you just do that. Just go, okay, that's negative 4 over 9 now. Done. Now, and then you just graph it from there. So it's colored in, and all the numbers less than it go that way, and negative infinity to negative 4 over 9. And it's colored in, so it's a square bracket. All right, have a good day.